Recent discussions about Tigray's potential independence from Ethiopia have resurfaced, largely driven by the Tigray People's Liberation Front, or TPLF. This rhetoric is a recurring tactic employed by the TPLF to exert pressure on Ethiopia's federal government, particularly during periods of political tension. The TPLF, which has historically dominated Tigray's regional governance, has used the spectre of secession to negotiate greater autonomy or concessions from Addis Ababa. However, the latest developments, including a purported bombshell revelation by Getachew Reda and a mysterious secret document, alongside claims that Eritrea's regime in Asmara is prepared to recognize an independent Tigray, have escalated regional anxieties. This analysis examines these developments, critiques Eritrea's destabilizing role under President Isaias Afwerki, and argues that such moves are detrimental to both Ethiopia and the people of Tigray. It also proposes a path forward for the federal government and Tigray's residents to ensure stability and unity. The TPLF's invocation of independence is not a genuine push for secession, but a strategic maneuver to challenge the federal government's authority. Historically, the TPLF has leveraged Tigray's regional grievances, rooted in the devastating 2020 to 2022 Tigray War, which killed tens of thousands and displaced millions, to rally support and pressure Addis Ababa. The recent internal rift within the TPLF, exemplified by the power struggle between Getachew Reda, former interim president of Tigray, and Debretsion Gebremichael, the TPLF chairman, has intensified this rhetoric. Getachew's allegations of a coup by Debretsion's faction and references to a secret document have fueled speculation, though details remain murky and unverified. These internal divisions weaken the TPLF's credibility and expose its opportunistic use of independence talks to mask internal dysfunction and maintain political relevance. Eritrea's alleged readiness to recognize an independent Tigray, as reported in recent narratives, is a provocative move by President Isaias Afwerki that threatens the stability of the Horn of Africa. Eritrea's involvement in Tigray's affairs is neither altruistic nor beneficial to the Tigrayan people. During the Tigray War, Eritrean forces allied with Ethiopia's federal army were implicated in severe human rights abuses, including massacres and sexual violence, contributing to the conflict's brutality. Asmara's exclusion from the 2022 Pretoria peace agreement, which ended the war, has left Isaias resentful and motivated to undermine Ethiopia's stability. Reports suggest that Debretsion's TPLF faction has engaged with Eritrean officials, potentially seeking support to destabilize the federal government. This aligns with Eritrea's broader strategy to weaken Ethiopia, particularly over disputes regarding Red Sea access and Ethiopia's port ambitions through Somaliland. Isaias Afwerki's regime has a long history of exacerbating regional conflicts. His support for insurgent groups in Ethiopia's Amhara region and alleged backing of dissident TPLF factions demonstrate a pattern of interference designed to keep Ethiopia fragmented and vulnerable. Recognizing an independent Tigray would not only violate international norms respecting Ethiopia's sovereignty, but also risk igniting a broader regional conflict, drawing in neighboring states and destabilizing the Horn. Such a move would do little for Tigray's people, who are still reeling from the war's humanitarian fallout, including famine and displacement. Instead, it would serve Asmara's tactical interests, using Tigray as a pawn to counter Ethiopia's growing regional influence under Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. To counter these threats and maintain national unity, Ethiopia's federal government must adopt a multifaceted approach that addresses both the TPLF's divisive tactics and Eritrea's interference. Strengthen implementation of the Pretoria Agreement. The federal government should prioritize fulfilling the Pretoria Agreement's commitments, such as returning displaced Tigrayans to their homes and facilitating the withdrawal of remaining Eritrean and Amhara forces from Tigray. Delays in these areas have fueled TPLF grievances and provided fodder for independence rhetoric. Swift action would undermine the TPLF's narrative and rebuild trust with Tigray's population. Engage Tigray's people directly. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's call for Tigrayans to nominate a new interim leader following Getachew Reda's ousting in March 2025 was a positive step. The appointment of Tadesse Worede, a neutral figure with military credibility, signals an intent to stabilize the region. The government should continue bypassing TPLF hardliners by engaging directly with Tigray's communities, ensuring their voices shape the region's governance and reconstruction. Counter Eritrean interference, Ethiopia must work diplomatically to isolate Eritrea's destabilizing influence. This includes rallying support from the African Union, IGAD, and international partners to pressure Asmara to cease meddling in Tigray's affairs. Publicly exposing Eritrea's role in supporting dissident factions could deter further interference and garner regional condemnation. Promote national unity. The federal government should launch a campaign emphasizing Ethiopia's unity and shared prosperity, countering the TPLF's secessionist narrative. Highlighting economic recovery and infrastructure projects that benefit Tigray, such as investments in agriculture and education, can demonstrate the advantages of remaining within Ethiopia's federal structure. For the people of Tigray, the path forward lies in rejecting the TPLF's divisive rhetoric and focusing on recovery from the war's devastating impact. The region faces acute challenges, including food insecurity, unemployment, and the displacement of nearly 1 million people. Independence, particularly under Eritrea's influence, would exacerbate these issues, isolating Tigray economically and geopolitically. Instead, Tigrayans should demand accountability from TPLF leaders. The TPLF's internal power struggles have paralyzed governance and delayed recovery efforts. Tigrayans should hold both Getachew Reda and Debretsion Gebremichael accountable for their roles in destabilizing the region, demanding transparent leadership focused on implementing the Pretoria Agreement. Support neutral leadership. The appointment of Tadesse Worede offers an opportunity for Tigrayans to rally behind a leader untainted by factional disputes. Community-led initiatives to support his administration can ensure that Tigray's priorities, reconstruction, repatriation, and demobilization, are addressed. Reject Eritrean influence. Tigrayans must recognize that Eritrea's overtures are not in their interest. Asmara's history of violence in Tigray during the war underscores its unreliability as a partner. Grassroots movements should advocate for peace with Ethiopia and reject foreign interference.